Pious deeds, pious deeds, pious deeds, pious deeds. Oh Allah, bless us with pious deeds, with pious deeds.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen, amma ba'd, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah. Wassalatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabi Allah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, welcome to another silsila of pious deeds. Alhamdulillah Azawajal, in our silsila of pious deeds, it's going to be related with deed which will benefit by inviting others. And the topic today is inviting towards goodness. Alhamdulillah, this is such a virtuous action. And inshallah, we will learn regarding how virtuous this action is. Inshallah, let's start by listening to a fazila, a benefit of reciting salutation, peace and blessings upon the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It's mentioned in hadith that Sayyidina Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala has narrated that the beloved and the blessed Prophet Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam has said, whoever recites salat upon me 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening will gain my intercession on the day of judgment. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, just try to think for a moment. Just 10 times in the morning, 10 times in the evening. What will this gain us? The intercession of the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And to be honest with you, to read 10 times in the morning, 10 times in the evening, won't probably even take you 1 minute. You probably can do it under a minute of reciting salutation, peace and blessings upon the Prophet ﷺ. And look at its reward that we are able to gain the intercession of the Prophet ﷺ on Yawm al-Qiyamah. And that is that intercession which will be a means of us entering into Jannah as well, inshallah. So try to recite salutation, peace and blessings upon the Prophet ﷺ. At least make it a habit of yours to read 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening, inshallah, so we can gain this fazila. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala. Yes, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, today our topic is inviting towards goodness. And inviting towards goodness, this was a habit of the pious predecessors, rahimahumullah. They would continue inviting people towards goodness. They would look for every opportunity to invite towards goodness. Even if these people were ill or on their deathbed, they would still be inviting others towards goodness. They would not even leave a single opportunity, a single way of getting to invite others towards goodness. Subhanallah. It's a very unique story regarding Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi. Once Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi, he fell ill and people had admitted him to hospital. Ali bin Isa, who was the contrary and an admirer of Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi, requested for the Khalifa of Baghdad to send the most senior doctor of the royal court for the treatment. The doctor was provided, he provided medical treatment very carefully, but no improvement came to his condition. One day the doctor said, "Oh Shibli, if I learn that any part of my body will cure you, I will have no hesitation on cutting off that part of my body." Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi said, "I can be cured by doing something easier than cutting off your body parts." The doctor asked, "What is it?" He rahmatullah alayhi replied, "Cut off your zunnar." Now zunnar was a thread or a chain which had been tied by the non-Muslims around their waist. So Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi, he said to the doctor, "Cut off this zunnar and embrace Islam. I will get rejoice and recover from my illness." Subhanallah. What the doctor did, instantly he cut off his zunnar and he recited the kalma. At that very same moment, Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi, he was bedridden and he couldn't even stand up. But when the doctor embraced Islam, Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi, he got up in excitement. He was cured from his illness. The Khalifa of Baghdad, when he became aware of this, he remarked in astonishment, "I had sent the doctor to the patient, but little did I know that I had actually sent the patient to the doctor." Subhanallah. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, just try to understand the pious predecessors, rahimahumullah, that they would be in a state of illness, but the thing which would take them out of the illness would be such that what happiness that if someone was to embrace Islam, and they would make effort upon this. Subhanallah, Sayyidina Shibli rahmatullah alayhi, he would bed rest, he couldn't move from his bed, but he was still doing individual effort upon people around him, upon the doctor who eventually embraced Islam. Subhanallah. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, Allah Azza wa Jal has commanded us to invite others towards goodness, forbid them from evil. In many places of the Holy Quran, it's mentioned in the Holy Quran, in Surah Al-Hamim, As-Sajdah, ayat number 33, and whose speech is better than the one who calls towards his Lord and does righteous deeds and says, I am a Muslim. There's another place is mentioned in Para 4, Surah Al-Imran, ayat number 110. You are the best amongst all nations that were raised amongst mankind. You command good and forbid evil. In the commentary of this, Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan rahmatullah alayhi has stated in the tafsir Nur Irfan, it becomes obvious that each and every Muslim should be a preacher. He should tell the ruling he knows to others and promote it by acting upon it. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, so time to time in the Holy Quran, we've been told to invite others towards goodness, forbid them from evil. And the Sahaba Ikram alayhim ridwan, they carried out this great task of conveying the message of Islam to each and every individual. To convey the message of Islam, they traveled to different parts of the world by calling the people towards righteousness. And the pious predecessors, rahimahumullah, they also did this in such a great manner, in such a great way that people embraced Islam to the extent that they would not even give up this action even in the last time, the time of their death. It is mentioned regarding the great saint, the founder of Maliki school of thought, the true devotee of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, Sayyidina Imam Malik, who devoted his entire life for Amr bil Maruf wa Nahi Anil Munkar, did not forget the important obligation even on his deathbed. It's mentioned that in the last moments, he rahmatullah alayhi, he advised an Islamic brother to fulfill the obligation of Amr bil Maruf wa Nahi Anil Munkar, quoting the last words. Sayyidina Yahya bin Yahya rahmatullah alayhi states that Sayyidina Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, then describing the narration, telling the ruling of Salah to someone is better than spending the entire wealth of the earth in sadaqah, and removing someone's religious worry is greater than performing 100 Hajj. And Ibn Sahab Zuhri rahmatullah alayhi narrates that giving someone a religious suggestion is better than doing jihad in 100 ghazwat. Sayyidina Yahya bin Yahya rahmatullah alayhi said, after conveying this, Sayyidina Imam Malik did not speak anything else and he passed away. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, just try to understand that the great people like Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, he's conveying the call towards righteousness. He's emphasizing that how important this is as his last and final words before leaving the world. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. He mentioned the importance of this, that spending the entire wealth on the earth in sadaqah and removing someone's worry is greater than performing 100 Hajj. Subhanallah, my dear viewers of Madani Channel. Look at the ajr one gets by inviting others towards goodness, from forbidding them from evil. And when we see something wrong happen, when we see someone make a mistake, we should try to convey the call towards righteousness, invite them towards goodness, and forbid them from evil by telling them this. And the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam has said, amongst the person who sees any evil should change it with his hands, and if he does not have the power, then he should change it with his tongue, and if he does not have this power, then he should consider it bad from his heart, and he is the one with weak faith. Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan rahmatullah alayhi states, enjoying ordering good deeds is wajib for every person according to his status and capability. This is described by the Quran and Sunnah and endorsed by the ijma of the ummah. So my dear viewers of Madani Channel, whenever we have the opportunity, when we know that the person will listen and we should try to convey the call towards righteousness. We should invite him towards goodness and forbid him from evil. It's mentioned in Fatawa Alamgiri, there are many forms of Amal bin Maruf. It is stated, if a person has strong belief that he will follow our advice and give up evil in case of being advised by us, then it is wajib for us to fulfill the obligation of Amr bin Maruf, calling towards righteousness. It is not permissible for us to avoid advising him. And if we strongly believe that he will put various types of blame or swear at us, it is preferable to avoid advising him in this case. But if we know that he will beat us and we will not able to have patience, or it will result as a discord or quarrel, it is preferable to avoid him in this case too. And if we know that he will beat us but we will able to be patient, then the one who advise such a person is a mujahid. If he knows that he will neither take our advice, no beat us, no will swear at us, then we have a choice. In this case, it is preferable to perform Amar bil Maruf, meaning call towards righteousness. So my dear viewers of Madani Channel, wherever is possible, we should try to invite others towards goodness and prevent them from evil. And at places, we need to be inviting people towards goodness and preventing them from evil. If we don't, it can cause a harm to our lives, the lives of the people around us, or the lives of the people surrounding. The example has been given in the hadith regarding the people who are aboard a ship, and there is a lower part of the ship and there is the upper part of the ship. The people from the lower part of the ship, they have to go to the upper part of the ship to get water, causing inconvenience to those who are staying in the upper part of the ship. Hence, those who are staying in the lower part of the ship, one person from amongst them, he takes an axe and he begins to dig up a hole in the bottom part to make an access to water. If the upper part do not prevent the person making the hole, they do not stop him from making the hole, just assuming that this has nothing to do with them. The person making the hole and the group of people, meaning those people from the lower part and the upper part, they will all drown in this case. And if they grab hold of his hand, and both of the groups and the person making that hole will remain safe. Meaning if they stop him, they will remain safe themselves and they will save both of these people of this group. So my dear viewers of Madani Channel, if there's a fire in our neighbor house and we don't put it out, there could be that this fire might also reach us. So we need to prevent, we need to stop those who are doing wrong. We should be making an effort upon those who are making mistakes and try to rectify them. In the same way, we should be inviting others towards goodness as well. It's mentioned that Sayyidina Ismail bin Umar rahmatullah alayhi has stated, I've heard Abdul Rahman Umari rahmatullah alayhi say, showing laziness in obedience to Allah Azza wa Jal is negligence in your own self. That if you see something displeasing Allah Azza wa Jal, but you ignore it, and you neither convey the call towards righteousness nor prevent evil, for the reason that, i.e., the evil neither causes you any harm nor brings you benefit. Allahu Akbar. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, if we all start to think that this person is not going to cause any harm to us, is not going to give any benefit us, so why is the point that we need to invite others? You get people today in our society that people say, only worry about yourself, leave everyone to their own state. No, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, it is important that we also invite others towards goodness and forbid them from evil. The pious predecessors, rahimahumullah, they would involve themselves so deeply into this, and this would gain them such great maqam and such great status. Is mentioned that someone asked Sayyidina Hafs bin Hamid rahmatullah alayhi, how did Sayyidina Sufyan Sawri rahmatullah alayhi achieve such a high rank despite the fact that there were many such other people in his time who were pious and knowledgeable like him? Sayyidina Hafs bin Hamid rahmatullah alayhi replied, may Allah Azza wa Jal have mercy on him. He rahmatullah alayhi did not show laziness towards disobedience in any matter of the truth. This enabled him to achieve this high rank. If sometimes if he rahmatullah alayhi saw any evil or could not prevent it, he rahmatullah alayhi will get so angry that he would pass blood with urine. Allahu Akbar. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, let's try to think for a moment that how the pious predecessors rahimahullah, if they could not stop something wrong happening, this would overtake them, this would get them angry. This to the extent Sayyidina Sufyan Sawri rahmatullah alayhi, when he would urinate, blood would also come out because that he could not stop something bad happening. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, so piety is gained through this action of inviting others towards goodness, forbidding them more, and also how will the person who invites towards goodness, he will benefit on the day of judgment, that he will be amongst the people under the shade of the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a revelation to Sayyidina Musa ala nabina wa salatu wasalam and said, one who commands goodness, prevents evil, and calls the people towards my obedience would be in the shade of the arsh. Subhanallah, my dear viewers, also Jannatul Firdaus is especially for the person who performs this obligation of inviting others towards goodness and forbidding them from evil. Sayyidina Qabul Akhbar radiyallahu ta'ala has stated, Jannatul Firdaus is especially for the person who performs the obligation of Amr bin Maruf wa Nahi anil Munkar, conveying the call towards righteousness and preventing them from evil. So my dear viewers of Madani Channel, this is such a great virtue, such a great action, and we should involve ourselves in inviting others towards goodness and forbidding them from evil. Alhamdulillah, join the beautiful environment of Dawat Islami. Inshallah, as well, through this we will able to get into the habit of inviting others towards goodness and forbidding them from evil. Alhamdulillah, this is the mindset which is given in the beautiful environment of Dawat Islami. Connect yourself with this beautiful environment. Inshallah, you will able to do this great pious deed as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to do this action in abundance. Ameen bijahi Nabil Ameen sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Pious deeds, pious deeds.